Welcome, cherished friends of Middle-earth. Today we delve into a rarely explored but deeply significant narrative thread. Galadriel's enigmatic messages to Gandalf the White during his brief yet pivotal stay in Lothlórien. These messages, as veiled as the mists over the Golden Wood, bear striking foresight and immense influence on the unfolding events of Middle-earth's climactic days. Why should you be aware of these messages? They encapsulate the essence of Galadriel's wisdom, her foresight, guidance, and understanding of the stakes involved in the War of the Ring. Furthermore, they underscore Gandalf's role as both a guide to the free peoples and a steward of their fates, providing him with critical insights into his companions' paths. These communications weave seamlessly into the grander tapestry of Middle-earth's lore, showing how small moments of counsel ripple across the ages. The events unfold in 3019 of the Third Age. Gandalf, having fallen in Khazad-dûm and defeated Durin's Bane, is returned by the Valar to Middle-earth as Gandalf the White. His return marks a turning point, but his mission is daunting. In his brief respite at Lothlórien, he communes with Galadriel, whose messages resonate as seeds of destiny for Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. But they also serve as a mirror for Gandalf's own path. Now let us explore these messages, their layered meanings, and their eventual fulfillment in the unfolding drama of Middle-earth. Galadriel's messages relayed by Gandalf to Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli exemplify her ability to discern and influence the fates of those intertwined with the War of the Ring. Each message was crafted not only to inspire, but also to prepare these individuals for the unique challenges they would face. Where now are the Dunedain, Elisar, Elisar? Why do thy kinsfolk wander afar? Near is the hour when the lost should come forth, and the grey company ride from the north. But dark is the path appointed for thee. The dead watch the road that leads to the sea. This message is a poetic summons to Aragorn to embrace his destiny as the rightful king of Gondor and Arnor. Galadriel references the Dunedain and the Grey Company, key allies who would soon join Aragorn in his march toward destiny. Her words point to the paths of the dead, foreshadowing Aragorn's perilous journey to summon the Oathbreakers, an ancient army of traitors bound by their broken vow to Isildur. The message encapsulates both inspiration and warning. It acknowledges Aragorn's doubts, his struggle to claim his birthright while remaining wary of the consequences. Galadriel's insight reassures him that the hour of fulfillment is near, while preparing him for the grave risks he must face. It's this moment when the rite of oneness suddenly flashes like an arrow on the bow. Legolas Greenleaf, long under tree, in joy thou hast lived. Beware of the sea. If thou hearest the cry of the gull on the shore, thy heart shall then rest in the forest no more, said Legolas, as he rested his hand on the course. For Legolas, Galadriel's words are both a blessing and a forewarning. The message acknowledges the elf's enduring connection to the forests, reflecting his deep ties to nature and his homeland of Mirkwood. However, the mention of the sea reveals a more complex truth. The sea longing that awakens in many elves when they hear the call of the gulls. This longing signifies the inexorable pull of the undying lands, a symbol of the elves' waning presence in Middle-earth. When Legolas hears the gulls cry at Pelargir, his destiny is sealed. Though he remains loyal to his friends and fulfills his part in the war, Galadriel's message foreshadows his eventual departure across the sea with Gimli. Lockbearer, wherever thou goest, my thought goes with thee, but have a care to lay thine axe to the right tree. For Gimli, who carries a gift of profound significance, 3 strands of Galadriel's hair, the message is a personal reminder of responsibility and respect. The phrase, lay thine axe to the right tree, speaks not only to his literal role as a craftsman and warrior, but also to his moral compass. Galadriel recognizes Gimli's unique position as a dwarf, deeply connected to her through admiration and reverence. Her message encourages him to channel his strength wisely, embodying the harmony between power and restraint. The beauty of Galadriel's messages lies in their foresight and subtlety. Each prophecy was realized in a manner that shaped the destinies of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, binding them to the larger narrative of Middle-earth's salvation. Let us now explore how these messages came to fruition and their profound impact. With Ludovic, its largest city, taking center stage, her largest manifestation is kissing the Queen. Galadriel's words to Aragorn spoke of his role in uniting the Dunedain and taking the perilous paths of the dead. This prophecy materialized when Aragorn, guided by his growing confidence in his destiny, summoned the Grey Company, fellow Dunedain, led by Halbarad at Dun Harrow. Together they embarked on the haunted path to fulfill Isildur's ancient oath and gain the allegiance of the Oathbreakers. In March of 3019 of the Third Age, Aragorn emerged from the paths of the dead, bringing an army of spectral warriors who aided in securing victory at the Battle of Pelargir. This act not only cemented Aragorn's claim to the throne, but also demonstrated his ability to wield power with courage and purpose. Galadriel's guidance had prepared him for this moment, ensuring he would embrace both the dangers and rewards of his heritage. Galadriel's message to Legolas found its culmination at the River Anduin, and later at Pelargir. When the Fellowship journeyed down the Anduin, Legolas began to sense the pull of the sea. However, it was not until the company reached Pelargir that the prophecy became undeniable. Upon hearing the cry of gulls, Legolas was overcome by the sea longing, an ancient yearning that awakens in elves when they are called toward the undying lands. Though Legolas remained steadfast in his duties, Galadriel's foresight proved accurate. Following the War of the Ring, Legolas honored his commitment to Middle-earth, but the longing for the sea lingered. This longing shaped his post-war actions, eventually leading him to build a ship and sail westward alongside Gimli, a departure that symbolized the fading of the elves and the passing of an age. Gimli's message was fulfilled not through a singular act, but through his ongoing commitment to virtue and restraint. Galadriel's words, "Lay thine axe to the right tree," reminded Gimli to temper his strength with wisdom. His relationship with Galadriel, the bearer of his gift, deeply influenced his actions during and after the War of the Ring. Gimli's admiration for Galadriel transcended cultural enmity between dwarves and elves. It inspired him to champion cooperation, as seen in his enduring friendship with Legolas. After the war, Gimli founded the Glittering Caves colony and worked to preserve Middle-earth's beauty, a testament to his respect for the natural world, a sentiment kindled by Galadriel's influence. Through Galadriel's messages, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli were shaped into the heroes Middle-earth needed. Each prophecy was realized in ways that connected them to the grand narrative while affirming Galadriel's unparalleled wisdom and foresight. Galadriel's messages to Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli extend far beyond personal guidance. They reveal key themes in Tolkien's legendarium: leadership, the passage of time, the interconnectedness of all races, and the enduring battle between hope and despair. Let us explore these broader implications and their resonance within the grander narrative of Middle-earth. Aragorn's message underscores a pivotal Tolkien theme: leadership as a burden borne with humility and resolve. Galadriel's prophecy not only points Aragorn toward his destiny, but also reflects his internal struggle. The reference to the Grey Company and the paths of the dead acknowledges the weight of responsibility placed upon Aragorn, a man torn between his lineage and his fear of failure. Through Aragorn's fulfillment of the prophecy, Tolkien illustrates the ideal of selfless leadership. Unlike the tyrannical grasp of power embodied by Sauron, Aragorn's acceptance of his kingship is a testament to his commitment to service. Galadriel's role in this journey highlights her as a mentor figure who prepares leaders for their trials, a recurring motif in Tolkien's works. Legolas's message ties into the broader narrative of the diminishing presence of the elves in Middle-earth. The sea longing awakened by the gulls serves as a metaphor for the inevitable passage of time and the elves' retreat to the Undying Lands. Galadriel's warning to Legolas highlights the bittersweet nature of his journey. Though he contributes to the victory over Sauron, his fate is ultimately tied to leaving Middle-earth. "It seems that the lands are far from home," says Galadriel. This theme of waning is central to Tolkien's vision of a world in transition. The departure of the elves marks the end of an age, paving the way for the dominion of men. Through Legolas's arc, Galadriel's foresight reflects the sorrowful beauty of this change. A recurring emotion in Tolkien's writing known as eucatastrophe, where joy and sorrow intertwine. Gimli's message reflects the breaking of barriers between races, particularly the historic enmity between elves and dwarves. By singling him out with a personal message, Galadriel acknowledges his unique character. Gimli's reverence for Galadriel, paired with her reciprocal respect, symbolizes a bridge between the two peoples. This relationship ties into Tolkien's broader message of unity. Gimli's friendship with Legolas, a bond fostered in the Fellowship and enriched by Galadriel's influence, demonstrates that cooperation, even between unlikely allies, is essential for overcoming great evils. Through Gimli, Tolkien portrays the transformative power of admiration, humility, and mutual respect. At its core, Galadriel's messages encapsulate hope. Aragorn's summons to lead, Legolas's warning of change, and Gimli's encouragement to act wisely all point to the enduring theme that even in the darkest times, hope must prevail. By providing clarity and direction to each individual, Galadriel reinforces their resolve to face challenges that seem insurmountable. The hope carried in these messages resonates throughout Middle-earth's narrative. Whether in Frodo's journey to Mount Doom or Sam's unyielding optimism, the idea that light persists, even when all seems lost, is central to Tolkien's vision. Galadriel, as a figure of light and wisdom, becomes a beacon of this hope. These messages are not isolated instances of prophecy, but are deeply woven into the thematic fabric of Tolkien's world. They illustrate how Galadriel's role transcends her own time, shaping events and individuals to fulfill the greater story of Middle-earth. Galadriel's messages to Gandalf the White during his stay in Lothlórien stand as extraordinary examples of Tolkien's narrative brilliance, layered with wisdom, prophecy, and thematic depth. These words, though brief, ripple through the grand tale of Middle-earth, shaping the fates of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, while illuminating central themes that define the Lord of the Rings. Galadriel embodies the essence of foresight and guidance, her messages serving as an anchor for the Fellowship's journey. She does not command, but gently nudges her recipients toward their destinies. Her counsel prepares them for the trials ahead, ensuring their courage, wisdom, and unity are steadfast in the face of overwhelming darkness. So, they say, through Aragorn's acceptance of his role as king, Legolas's bittersweet journey from Middle-earth, and Gimli's growth into a figure of respect and reconciliation, Galadriel's influence proves indispensable. Each message demonstrates her ability to see beyond immediate events, connecting personal struggles to the grander tapestry of Middle-earth. These messages encapsulate Tolkien's recurring themes: leadership and responsibility. Aragorn's journey highlights the selflessness required of true leaders, contrasting with the corrupting lust for power seen in Sauron and Saruman. We shall see this fully realized later in Sauron and Saruman. Change and renewal. Legolas's sea longing reflects the inexorable passage of time and the renewal brought by the end of an age. Unity and friendship. Gimli's relationship with Galadriel and later with Legolas, exemplifies the strength of unity in overcoming division. Reporter. Hope in darkness. All three messages carry a spark of hope, reminding their recipients, and us, that even in despair, the seeds of victory and renewal are sown. The fulfillment of these messages shapes not only the individuals involved, but also the outcome of the War of the Ring. Aragorn's summoning of the Grey Company and journey through the Paths of the Dead secure critical victories. Legolas's eventual departure symbolizes the end of the Elves era, but also the promise of peace for Middle-earth. Gimli's actions reinforce the bonds between once divided peoples, echoing the hope of a harmonious future. Galadriel's legacy, woven through these moments, reminds us that even the smallest acts of wisdom and foresight can steer the course of history. Her words reverberate with Tolkien's belief in the resilience of good against evil and the beauty of light in shadow. Galadriel's messages are not merely tools of prophecy, but are profound reflections of her character and the narrative's depth. They demonstrate how Tolkien crafted even the most subtle moments to resonate across his mythos, leaving us with lessons of courage, humility, and hope that endure well beyond the pages of his works. Thank you for joining this exploration of Galadriel's foresight and its fulfillment in Middle-earth. May her wisdom guide us all as we walk our own paths.